What's going on, Fast Turn Radio watchers, listeners, replay catchers, gompers? I don't know if you're out there or if you're packing. I don't think you're sourcing, but you might be. Anyway, everybody who is here live, thank you for joining us. I will tell you right now, this is going to be a show full of interruptions because my niece and a couple of her friends who are, gompers repricing. What's up, man? My niece and a couple of her friends who are my packers are here tonight for the first time in almost a week, and I desperately need it, so they are working late. My printer right here is where all the labels get printed to, so she's going to be in and out. You're going to hear the printer kick on and off. I'll apologize in advance, but it's work time. That's all there is to it. So that's going to bother you. May not be the show for you, but I think it is going to be a pretty good show. I'm going to talk a little bit about what has worked to some extent, how this Q4 was maybe a little bit different than last Q4. I might talk a little Q1 planning, but not a whole lot. Right now we've still kind of, we're making our last push. I mean, this is it for us. Looking at the dates, things that go live, Friday is the absolute deadline. I would love everything done today if possible. That's not going to happen. Tomorrow at the latest, probably not going to happen. I still have a whole garage full of stuff. We did get out 39 boxes today, which was pretty good. It was really good. I was very proud of us. So we got a bunch done. We got a bunch out, but probably have, I don't know, a lot more to go. So our receive times or ship to live times have been running about a week. So if you look at Friday being the 11th, that's going to make it the 18th. In my opinion, that gives you 4 days before Christmas to sell whatever products you're shipping in. And that's best case scenario. I mean, I've had some stuff that's taking 8 to 10 days to get checked in, and God forbid it goes West Coast, because I'm in Georgia. If it goes West Coast, all kinds of in trouble. They won't be there till New Year's. So that is going to be our cutoff for standard size. Now, one little thing, and I posted this in the coaching group and kind of gave those guys a heads up, but I'll share it here too. Something that I have noticed this year, and it was pointed out to me first by Matt Kelly. He said, oversized items don't go to distribution centers, they go to fulfillment centers. And I said, you sure about that? I just never paid attention. He said, yeah. So I started watching these shipments, and sure enough, as soon as they get received 14 units. Look at my inventory, 14 units. It's going live as soon as it's received. Like, now that's something, because I have a couple of oversized fulfillment, or I have an oversized fulfillment center that is in South Carolina. It's next day delivery. So if I get lucky enough to get that center, I can ship stuff tonight at 9 p.m. and it's going to be at the warehouse tomorrow in late morning, early afternoon, depending on when the warehouse workers check it in. It could actually be next day live, or usually within a couple of days. That's pretty powerful. That I can live with. If I could get that, even Virginia is about 2 days and maybe another day to receive, so I'm looking at 3 days there. I might push some oversized, but for the most part, our Christmas is done as of Friday. What we have, yesterday was my last sourcing day, so what we have is what's going in. So that takes us kind of to, where's Q4 at? And Mindy, if you want to jump on, you can. Mindy and I were talking a little bit before the show actually started the recording. But Q4 for me is really strange this year. I attacked it differently. And again, I will go more into details with the coaching group. But just the short summary is, I decided last year I played this game of send in my shipments, price at the current buy box price. And then I was finding all this inventory that as soon as it hit, it sold. And well, usually that's good, but I would realize, hey, I priced this at 32 and now the buy box is 36. I just lost $4 and I sold 6 of them. That stinks. I lost $26 in 5 minutes. This year I said, okay, forget that. I'm sending this stuff way high, and not red flag, overpriced high. I'm not getting notices very often from Amazon for being way out there. But hey, if I paid $30 for it, I'll price it at 100. Whereas last year I would have said, I paid 30, the buy box is 58 or 62. that's where I'm going to put my price. I'm like, no, I'm putting it at 100. And, when I see that the price is kind of where I'm ready to sell, and it is at 65 or 68, all right, lower my price, pull the trigger. Told somebody today, it's almost like duck hunt, things that pop. Yeah, the ducks are flying up out of the marsh, and it's like, oh, that one shot up to the level I wanted, pull the trigger. And if you're in the buy box, stuff is flying.
And as soon as you pop, it pops. I mean, you'll be out of stock. And, I was saying just yesterday, I said, you need to, first of all, you got to be careful. If you're sending replenishables, your repricer is not going to realize that it's live until it's too late. Meaning, if you sold Pie Face last week at $30, and then you sent in a new batch, and before the App Eagle can recognize it's going for 40 now, it doesn't matter because it went live at 30. It can take 15 minutes if you're on a continuous plan until they even recognize it. At minimum, it might take longer until they recognize it's live. Yeah. So this year, we've definitely been pricing much higher.
Another problem with App Eagle, and I think it's with all repricers, it'll price to back order. Well, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but you can ignore back orders. I'm telling you right now, if something's on back order, doesn't matter. You ignore that price. Just somebody mentioned Pie Face. You'll see back order at 32, 33, 34, in stock 36. That at a minimum is where you want to price.
I got a message from a customer that said that they wanted to make sure that they were actually going to get the Pie Face because they ordered it twice from Amazon back ordered and got canceled. And and that took 2 weeks, of them, a week that it's canceled, week that it's canceled. So they were kind of pissed with Amazon.
Yeah. People are not, when they use Prime, they want it now. Now, people will order when you're back ordered. I've had orders go through, and I'm like, I don't think I have stock. And it shows back ordered until December 16th. Like, all right, hopefully it actually comes in stock and all that kind of stuff. So people will do it. But for the most part, not for the most part, I am pricing at whatever the in-stock level is. So that's just me. That's a little bit of my pricing strategy. So you were talking about you had a couple of big days recently. I'll tell you, I had a big Cyber Monday. Black Friday, I think, was good. Maybe 7,500. I can take a look when I pull up the numbers. But Cyber Monday was great for us. We had 3,000 by 1 p.m. I even put a post on Fast Turn Radio and said, we have a goal of 10,000. I think we're going to make it.
I was following you throughout the day on that one.
Yeah, and then people were like, where's the update? I was like, man, I'm not busy. I was out sourcing on Cyber Monday. But, we ended up at 11.5, which was awesome. And since then, we were running about $4,000 days, and now we're running about $6,000 days. So, for about – No! Yeah, and again, I can pull this when we look at the numbers. But, not doing much differently. I was running 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, and now we're at 6,000. And, and some of those things are just starting to pop. You're just seeing items go out of stock. But we haven't had another $10,000 day. They've just been, between 4 and 6, pretty much all of December so far.
Unless you got Pie Face or that other thing hidden, which I think has been outed everywhere either way. But I mean, I had Pie Face hit yesterday, which helped propel me to a $10,000 day.
Yeah, I've got, I'll tell you, right now I have literally, I think right at 100 units. I think I have 2 different MSKUs by accident. So I have 96 on one and 4 on the other. And I priced, and I had a third MSKU. Yeah, I made a mess out of Pie Face.
Yeah.
But I priced one at $36.99 today. So I had a 96, a 4, and a 1. And I priced the 1 at $36.99, and sure enough, it sold. So, and that's on the main listing. So that just kind of gave me a taste of, okay, when I'm ready to pull the trigger, and these are all, $15 costs. So anything 30 or better, I'm really happy with. I'm just not in a hurry because I just got paid on Monday. So I'm not really in a big hurry to push this inventory out. There's no benefit to it. Our Christmas sourcing is done. I don't really need the money. I can just kind of watch the game and hope I don't get, stuck with 100 Pie Faces. But
my last sourcing for Christmas was yesterday. Yeah. We shipped it out. I turned on premium placement, by the way, Dwayne.
I saw that. Little pushy on getting premium placement, I take it.
You know, because I signed up on Friday and they told me it would be on within 24 hours, and it wasn't. And then they didn't want to. Premium placement team does not take phone calls, and so the customer service agent was not being any help. I said, just have leadership call me. And leadership was like, listen, we spoke to them. They usually don't turn it on until Fridays. Supposedly, who knows one thing from the next. But we got it, and it'll be go line for you today. So that worked.
Congratulations on that. Oh,
yep. I got product I shipped yesterday, hit the warehouses today.
Yeah, that's one thing that I did not do, but I may very well do next year. If shipping is similar, because really it would save or it would extend, in my opinion, the Christmas season by almost a week to be able to do premium placement.
I mean, theoretically, I could probably still ship where we at. We're the 9th. I could still ship in on the 16th if I wanted.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Whereas I have to absolutely have everything out on the 11th. I mean, to me, even Monday is starting to really push it, because now you're looking at the 21st before it's live, hopefully. That only leaves you a couple of days, because let me tell you, people, the 23rd and 24th and 25th are going to be awful.
It's dead.
We went last year. I looked, I did this in last week's show. We went from, $2,000 days, $3,000 days to like $125 on Christmas Day. It dies at the 23rd.
Yeah. And it takes it's like a 3 to 4 day period, just complete dead.
Yeah. Now, Debbie Graham, just to be clear on this, Debbie says, I am shipping through the 24th. January is great. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to not ship again in the month of December. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying the Christmas specific items, the maybe over retail or the inflated, that kind of stuff is, to me, it's done on Friday. There are things there's a lot of things that I'm selling over retail that I do not trust to have any legs whatsoever on January 26th. So those got to go. Okay. Now your stuff that is maybe cold weather specific, maybe it's grocery items that people like. I don't think people are going to stop buying peppermint on January 26th. Now it may slow down, but that's kind of a cold weather. People like it in their cocoa and that sort of thing. So, those kind of products I'll continue to ship. But as far as, over retail, it's got to be sold because it's a Christmas specific item. Yeah, that's what I'm specifically talking about.
Dwayne, how much over retail items do you sell during the year? What percentage of your business would you say is selling things at what I call unrealistic pricing?
Almost none anymore. And in my coaching, I talk about finding off-the-shelf replens. And that's because 2 years ago when I first did that, and last year when I remade the videos, I was still having a very easy time finding off-the-shelf replens. Now, Robin Johnson, from what I understand, is still killing it with that. I don't know what she's doing, but I don't find it like I used to. I used to be able to get Spring Valley Vitamins, which is Walmart's brand, and get a 2-pack for $9 and sell it for $18 and sell 5 a day. That was awesome. I was loving it. Suddenly it went from 18 to 16 to 13, and I went, it's done. There's no money at $12, $13. So I don't do much of over retail anymore.
And to me, that's the big difference this time of year from everything else, because I will sell things. This is the one time of year I will sell things at insane prices, in my opinion. I mean, come on. We're selling pie face at 40, 45, 50 bucks. Okay, we're selling. I've got stuff I bought in store, on Black Friday for $30, selling for $100. I mean, these prices are not realistic. Let's be honest. Okay, it's just it's a Christmas-driven supply and demand. People are lazy. They got a lot of presents to get. They don't know you can get it Toys R Us, etc. And it's moving volume. But you know what? Some of these listings we got 100, 200, 300 sellers on. So if it wasn't Christmas, they'd be fighting a war, tanking it to the bottom.
Yeah. That's another thing that kind of stood out to me. I have never in my printer's going off. My niece is about to walk in, so just to forewarn you. But I've never seen 800 sellers on a single item and it got up to $7.99 that I actually saw on PieFace. I'm sure it crossed 800. It blew me away. Just never seen it. And now, that was about a week ago, right? That was after this big pop where it hit $42 on the main listing. I know there's two separate listings, but it hits 40 plus on the main listing. Everybody went out and bought it, including me. That's where my 100 came from. Sent a ton of it in, and all of a sudden there was 800 of us there. It's only a week later, we're down to about 400. The stuff is absolutely freaking flying, which is incredible. So yeah, there are those products out there. I mean, there are some things that I paid $20 for and literally have sold dozens of at 60 to 70. That doesn't happen any other time of year.
Yep.
That's not normal. But this is the time you take advantage of it. I mean, that's why you can put up $100,000 rolling 30-day when your normal is maybe 50. It's just.
I got paid on Monday and I'm maxed out already.
I got paid on Monday, and I got to tell you, I think I've spent about 15,000 of the 34,000 payout. And the reason I stopped is I said, I can't ship anymore. It's not that there's not more to buy. I want it shipped by Friday. So I can't ship $30,000 worth of inventory by myself in a week. I'm not a goose, Now Goose, I don't know if you guys know, and he didn't give me permission to share, but I'm going to tell you, dude is sleeping in his storage unit. Okay. They don't allow entry after 10 PM. So he's like, I got to sleep here. I don't have an option. I have to pack. So like the owner came out and he's like, what are you doing? And, it was like 11 o'clock last night. He's like, we're working. He's got 2 units, got lights set up and everything. And he's like, you can't do this. He's like, you don't leave me an option. You didn't let me in after 10 o'clock. So you're locking me in here every night. He's like, you're sleeping in the unit? He's like, yeah, I'm sleeping in the unit. Dude came out with blankets and pillows and he's like, trying to make him comfortable.
People who do that actually live, like a step above homeless. They'll live out of those places.
Yeah, I tell you what, in the funny thing
about it.
Goose, I didn't know that, but Goose tells me, in the way he worded it, he's like, they lock the doors at 9. What choice did I have? What else am I supposed to do? All the respect in the world for that answer, because me, I would go, they lock the doors at 10. I can't work after 10. I'll have to wait until morning. Goose is like, no, I had to sleep there. I didn't have any other choice. Blew me away. I promise you. I love this business.
And he's been pretty backlogged, by the way, in shipping.
Yeah. There are a lot of things I will do for FBA. Sleeping in a cold storage unit, because he's up in Virginia and it is not warm at night, not happening. I am not that dedicated. So props to Goose. But that's the kind of stuff that goes on. And I was not willing to do that. If I were going to try to ship $30,000 worth of inventory this week, I would be doing that kind of stuff, and I'm just not. So I stopped at about 8,000 retail, and I picked up another 7,000 or 6,000. Well, I went in with somebody on a buy. So my part of it's about 6. He'll pay me back the other part. But anyway, so yeah, that was my couple of days. I was like, that's enough inventory. I can process that much, and we'll be done. Let's see. Justin Willis. Well, let me back up. There was a few questions. More people doing this than people expect. There are a lot, but dude, I don't know who SR is, but we're looking at PieFace, the most popular product out there that's been outed in every group and talked about on this show and everywhere, and it had 800 sellers. Think about that. When you hear this, there's 2 million or 200,000 sellers, FBA, there weren't 200,000 people selling PieFace. All right. So more people doing this than people expect. I don't really think so. I think actually people expect there are more people doing this than actually are. I believe there are 200,000 accounts out there. I do not believe for a minute there are 200,000 active sellers. Otherwise, we would see just thousands of people on PieFace. That's my opinion. Could be wrong, but I will say this: there are a lot more people doing it this year. I think, at least the way that I am used to doing Q4 the last couple of years. I think there were a lot more doing that, because that's why I saw 800 people on the listing for the first time. So, Yes, I think there's more, but I don't think it's really more than people expect.
The only thing
Yeah.
I don't care about the multiple listings because I'll usually be the lowest price. The only thing I care about is a certain seller, Toyberg.
I heard Toyberg is a nice group of people.
I hear
I cringe when I see them on my listings, but
I hear they're lovely people. I raised the glass today because they should be sold out on 2 of my listings today.
Hang on. I want to answer Diana's question.
Yeah,
why are there 2 active listings? Diana, simple fact is people try to cheat the system. That's the only way I can explain it, because there was a listing created with the UPC of the original game, the one that Amazon sells on. That is the original listing. Somebody said, hey, I don't want to compete with Amazon. I'm going to go use my own UPC code, and I'm going to create a second listing, which is totally bogus and against policy, and it shouldn't happen, but it does.
Actually, there was one big benefit for that second listing, which the guy was actually kind of brilliant, I got to say. And that was very simply that Amazon was suppressing the buy box on the original listing because MSRP was $20. The guy who created the secondary listing made the MSRP, I don't know how high. So you were getting the buy box on the second listing. Yeah. The suppressed buy box was still selling better than the other listing, but nonetheless, it definitely helped. But I got to go get my kids settled in.
All right, Mindy. Thanks for joining us.
Have an awesome Q4. And
Appreciate it, man.
We'll touch base.
All right. Take it easy.
Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, so that's what happened with the second listing. Mindy's absolutely right. There is a buy box on the second one. There is no buy box on the first. It's suppressed. You can still get sales, definitely, but suppressed buy box pretty much means you have to be the lowest in-stock seller in order to get any sales, which makes it a pricing game. It's just the way it is. All right, Michael Flanagan had a comment about the January. Amazon gift cards are one of the most popular gifts people give. And they will be using them in January. Yeah, January is not a dead month by any means. It was our second best month, I think, of all time. January 2015 was. Okay, so December 2014 was best, and maybe November before that, and then January. Just to give you actual numbers, we did 30,000 in November of 14. 69,000 in December of 14 and 24,000 in January of 15. So there are, it's not like sales just go away and, oh my God, everybody starves. No, I'll guarantee you the young guns will be out there doing 100,000 in January, just like they did in the months leading up to October, November, December. Donnie Kreider says, if your ASP was 1K, you could, I'm not sure what that was in reference to, but that does bring up a point. One of the big things that I've seen by selling some of the oversized items that I have, by selling some of the toys at a higher price, like I said, I'm setting them very high on things. My ASP is through the roof. Yeah, I know it was yesterday specifically, like $38, $39, which for me is amazing because normally I'm about a $24 ASP. But yeah, you want bigger sales? Start selling more expensive stuff. You'll see those sales numbers, and hopefully you've done the math, and those bigger sales numbers result in bigger profits. Any items you bet on this Christmas that didn't pan out the way you expected? For me, advent calendars and inflatables seemed down this year compared to last. Advent calendars, to me, are the telltale sign of the change in Q4. Okay. There were more sellers. The price, to me, has been depressed throughout the entire season. Whereas last year, I looked, November 14th or 17th, somewhere right in that neighborhood, I was unloading at $70 on the Star Wars Advent calendars. This year, I did not see it hit 70. It's been more at that 65 range. There's been more sellers, and the prices stayed down. That's one that people knew a lot about going in. If you listen to me, if you listen to any of the Facebook groups, if you're in Scanner Monkey or Scan Power, anywhere people are just kind of talking, you would have seen advent calendars come up. And I think a lot of people bought into them. And rather than waiting for a top 100 toy to reach a very profitable level, people sold at a semi-profitable level. Everybody runs their own business, but that's one that when I sent it in at 80. I said, if this thing hits 80 and it sells, and even if it goes to 90 or 100, whatever, I'll take 80. I'm still sitting at 70, I think, and it'll probably never get there. So yeah, advent calendars were kind of the big sign to me that, hey, things have changed drastically in the last 12 months. The 800 sellers on Pie Face tells me things have changed drastically in the last 12 months. Were there items that that didn't pan out? Shopkins. I bought Shopkins Wholesale. Shopkins are dead. Harvey Specter called it about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I think. He said Shopkins are dead. I was like, no, man, wait till Q4. You're going to see Shopkins take off. Shopkins are in every single store around here. They are fully loaded with sellers on Amazon. Amazon themselves are out, but everybody else has plenty of stock. Shopkins are dead. And I've got about $4,000 worth. Now, those I will have to take out back and shoot. Those will probably be jettisoned this week or next. They're gone. I doubt that I'll hold on to any. I don't see any run like, Series 1, I could see like a collector value. Series 2, hard to find. It was short shipped, or whatever you want to call it. They just did not produce enough. So that kind of thing drove season 1, season 2. Season 3 is in abundance. Season 4 is about to come out. Shopkins are dead. My advice, stay away. They finally, it's almost like Paw Patrol. The supply is finally caught up to the demand, and the manufacturers figured it out. Fees going up, so there will be more quitting for a while. Yeah, people will probably drop out. I think you'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to speculate. Some people will get frustrated and quit. Others will start to sell. Who knows? It's always changing. Excuse me. Throat is super dry, guys. Michael Flanagan said fees are going up by pennies, and it only really hurts people that are not flipping their inventory fast enough. So let's see, just looking through some of this other stuff. Long-terms, yeah, the long-term storage fees will hurt, but that's only if you get caught with them. Now, I may get caught with a couple of things that did not sell as fast as I expected, but, I may have to pay some fees. I may have to have it returned to me. Who knows? And Edie said, some people complaining in the groups about fees going up. It happens this way. It happens is the way I think about it. Yeah, it does happen. Exactly. They're going to charge fees, whatever. I'm still making money. I'm making more money than I ever have in my life. So you charge me some fees where I have to have some items returned. Not really going to change my life a whole lot. I'm selling. And people will always complain. People will always complain about something. That's one thing. I haven't been on Facebook, seriously, guys, like looking at Facebook and reading through posts. If somebody brings one to my attention, I'll look at it. But for the most part, I've been nose to the grindstone working. And I don't know what's going on Facebook. I honestly, I don't care for the most part. Now, my coaching group, if somebody asks a question, yes, I want to be on it. I want to be there for you guys. Outside of that, Fast Turn Radio, you hardly see me post anything. You don't see me commenting anywhere. It's not because, I don't want to help people. I'm too stinking busy. And if you just ignore Facebook, you'd be amazed how much you don't really give a flip about who's complaining about what. There's negative people out there. Let them go be negative. Not on my time, though. I'm not wasting my time reading it. Let's see. Donnie Kreider saying you could spend the $34,000 payout if you raise the ASP. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I could go buy 34 of $1,000 item. I could, but I'm not really sourcing $1,000 items, so I wouldn't know where to start. Now, I've sold some high price stuff. I have sold several hundred, almost 200. I don't know if I've sold anything over 200 in Q4, but I've sold quite a few in the 100 to 200 range. All right. Yeah, Justin said Shopkin dolls were really good. Yeah, there were some Shopkin items, and there still are. There are some individual things that are good, but by and large, the 12 packs and somebody. I thought somebody said bundling. They said building. Okay. Shopkins dolls were good. There were some specialty sets that were good. There were some variations that were good. I mean, there's some good stuff, but hey, the 12-pack and 2-pack and 5-pack normal everyday Shopkins that were killer last year and the first part of this year, just not really there. And Michael Flanagan, you're right. Shopkins backpacks rock. Absolutely. Because I've only got God knows how many of those things still in stock and selling for less than I paid for them, which is just awesome. Yeah, I got kicked pretty hard on Shopkins. Justin asks, what will be your primary focus area for 2016? Any certain category, wholesale, PL, etc.? For me, it's adult shoes and wholesale. I will focus, kind of get back to my roots, or what I consider to be my roots. It'll be wholesale. And I'm going to talk with my coaching group about some of the specifics. But yeah, I'm going to expand my business into other areas. I still will do a ton of RA. I promise you. I will just do it differently than I did in the past, more like I did from June through December versus how I was doing business January to May. But yeah, wholesale will be a big part of it. RA will still be a big part of it. OA maybe here and there if I hit the right spots, but that'll be a small part. Maybe some liquidation if the right deals come along. So, yeah, you just mix all this kind of stuff. Yeah, that's my basic plan is just to do more of what I've done and maybe do it a little differently and understand that there is more competition now. And the exact same things that I've done in the past will not work going forward. So you change a little bit. Donnie says, if you see supply, chances are the product will die. That's how I approach Shopkins. Yes, sir. And see, but I ordered wholesale. So I had to place these orders in, I think it was maybe June. I was placing orders basically for August, September shipment so that it was in place by October for the Q4 run. Okay. So if you're ordering this stuff wholesale, you've got to just go with what's going on. Well, that was the end of season 2, which sold out almost immediately. And I said, hey, I'm taking a shot on season 3. I had about $20,000 in the bank the day I made the order. That's why I ordered $4,000 worth, because as you guys know, I have a hard, fast rule of don't spend more than 20% of your current on-hand sourcing money, budget, cash flow, whatever term you want to use. Don't use more than 20% of your money on any one product. So that's what I did. I had $20,000 in the bank. I bought $4,000 worth of Shopkins. I got kicked in the teeth. Guess what? I lose $4,000. Now I might break even, but you get the idea. But I had to project. Had I been able to just simply buy off the shelf and see that there were readily available 12 packs and 2 packs and 5 packs everywhere I went, yeah, I would have just simply bypassed it. But you either jump on wholesale early or you don't get it. That's kind of it's kind of your 2 options. John says, do you have information on learning related wholesale? I did a very basic. There's not, I'll be honest with you, there's not a lot to wholesale. Okay. There's a lot of things you can do once you're inside wholesale, but as far as getting started in wholesale, you need a resale certificate. You need your tax ID, and you need to contact manufacturers. And that's it. You email them, you call them, you hound them, you tell them honestly, I am an online seller. You don't have to specifically say Amazon unless they ask, but you say, I'm an online seller. I would like to carry your product. That starts the conversation. So I have about I think a half-hour video that I did just kind of walking you through. That's the 30-second elevator version. But, as far as how to find wholesale sources, I do a lot of stuff about that. I mean, how I look at Amazon, look at trends, and trace back to manufacturers. Again, I will talk more with my coaching group about some of the things that I'm doing specifically for 2016 and how it relates to wholesale. I've learned a lot this year. I'll be honest with you. I've learned a lot of things that I think will help me going forward that I kind of disregarded. and Dan and Eric have a great wholesale course. I mean, if that's what you're looking for, is just straight up wholesale, that's the place to go, is to the wholesale formula. Those guys do a much better job than I ever will. But I've learned some things that I am going to try to put into practice, where wholesale is not as risky a business as the way that I've done it in the past. I've been burned on wholesale. I've done great with some wholesale. I've done horribly with some. It just kind of depends on the situation, and what I'm getting better at is identifying, how easy is it to get this account is one red flag almost. I mean, if you can just sign up, that's one I would sign up for, but not sell individual pieces most likely, because there are going to be a ton of people on those. Now, what I do like is, hey, I'm going to sign up for this wholesale, and I'm going to use that piece from here, and I'm going to use that piece from here, and that piece over there, and I'm going to put this bundle together, and I'm going to make the customer super happy because this is a killer bundle, and it's really hard to replicate, okay? So that kind of stuff I love to do, and I do talk about that a little bit, but the easier it is to get an account, the more you ought to say, this is a little too easy. Bob Willie says, trade shows are great for me. We'll be going to the Philly Gift Show in early January 2016. Trade shows, I agree. Awesome. If you can actually talk with that vendor and say, this is me, let's build a relationship. I'm not just another number or account number that's on your books. I want to talk to you. I want to be your guy, that kind of thing. That can be powerful. When you're sitting down face-to-face with a vendor, that carries a lot of weight, and trade shows are a good first step to that. And if you have a small vendor who is the actual owner, you can crush it. Yeah, ASD is awesome, and it's all about building relationships. Absolutely, Bob. I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, love trade shows. Don't know about ASD. I like ASD. I enjoyed it. I enjoy meeting the other sellers. So to me, it's kind of a two-part thing. It's like the social aspect of it, and it's also just the vendors and the products and seeing what's out there. And are there 95 people selling the same liquidation products? Because ASD is not just wholesale, and there are liquidation people. And so it kind of gives you a clue. If 95 different booths all carry the same Colgate toothpaste, and they're telling you it's a great product, there is a bigger source somewhere. Get to that. If you want to sell whatever that liquidation product is, forget the guy that's just one of the masses. Let's find out where that source is. And so you kind of have to work the room a little bit. Oh, okay. Edie said she liked it, just so tired afterwards. Yes, it was. And Gomper said it's cool only if you show up. Yeah, I missed ASD last year. I'm sorry. I will be there this year. Planes, trains, or automobile, I will make it. They canceled my flight twice. The first time I rescheduled. The second time they canceled my flight. I got to tell you, I'm not a big karma kind of person, but that freaked me out because I am not big on flying anyway. And I said, they canceled this thing twice. I'm done. I'm not flying across the country. It scared me. There. Yeah, all right. That's it. That's the truth. When they canceled the second time, done. Don't come to Vegas with bad karma. Yeah, so we flew over to, it was supposed to go through Dallas, and Dallas got hit by some freak storm in the middle of freaking March, or the beginning of March. All right. So, all right, we are at the 40-minute mark. Wow. For a show that I had absolutely no plan for, this is flying. But let's get to some numbers, because I'm excited about the numbers. And honestly, I have not looked. I've looked a little bit at my sales, like the actual what's selling, but I have not looked at my numbers. So I'm in, or it'll be as much a surprise to me as it is for you, because I'm not sure. Excuse me. Goodness, I'm sorry, guys. All right. Here we go. Oh, I guess I probably ought to bring up my Seller Central first. That way I have something to share with you. All right, make sure we're not showing anything we should not be. All right, it looks good. Whew. All right. I just saw where Mitch asked Goose if he's sleeping in a storage unit. He said that's not by design. That's freaking hilarious. I gotta tell you. Sleeping in a storage unit. My God, that's a dedicated dude. You ever want to feel lazy? Just try to keep up with Goose. It's not happening. Dude is something else. All right, now I've lost my screen. Where's Zoom? There's Zoom. It's on the other tab. No, it's not. Where did you guys go? This is awful. There we go. Jeez. Edie says, Pie Face is at 40. Alan, what's up, man? Pie Face is at $43.99. All right, so that must be on the second listing because I don't think that's on the first, but if it is on the first, I should have just made a whole lot of money. Looking at my sales numbers, I don't think so. So that must be on the second listing. All right, here we go. Share screen, desktop 2, and bam. All right. Hopefully everybody sees the screen. You notice I have backed off on the seller fulfilled. I did 28 this week. That is enough for me. I have no pending, no unshipped, no MCF. I did a lot of MCF. I got tired of it. I said, forget it. I'm done. Allison, my favoriteest new seller of all time. She gets the Q4 Virgin Award, in my opinion. She has been freaking rocking it. And there's some tough competition in there. But you would get my vote. Allison has been amazing. And yes, she did lots of MF. She's doing this part-time and just crushing it. Truly part-time. She has like a full-time job, does this on the side, and crushing it. All right, so 7 days at 36,468. We're going to call that 36.5. I'll fudge it a little bit. 15 days at 77,000, and 30 day is 108,000. So, dude, I can't complain about that. I'd tell you straight up, I'm freaking happy with what I'm seeing right there. That is a 30 day of 108,000. That is a 15 day on the way to 150, and a 7 day on the way to about a 145. Dude, I'm happy. And like I said, this is like duck hunt. So I'm just waiting for things to pop so I pull the trigger. It's so we're just running those steady days. Speaking of which, let's go into the reports, business reports. Oh, let's go to this one. Hang on. Let me go back for just a second here. Do want to point this one out. Okay, 34,000 was by far our highest payout ever. Prior to that, it was 27,000 last year. 34,000. That got paid out on dispersed on Friday, hit the bank on Monday, but dispersed on Friday. So 5 days later, we're already at 18,000. That blows my mind. That's not a bragging thing. That's oh my God, is there money to be made in FBA? All right. I mean, that's cash. We can talk about profits and we can talk about sales and ROI and margins and all that good crap, but that is cash in your pocket. That is money coming to you. That to me is more important than any of that other stuff. I know the people that are number crunchers and all that will go ballistic with that because, oh, you could spend 50,000 and get payouts of 50,000. You didn't make any money. Well, then I'd be an idiot. So that is money in my pocket. That thrills me. That love it. All right, now let's get to the business reports. We are at 4,348 on the day. I will tell you right now, there is a product that I dumped today because it was a wholesale product that I had over 200 units of. Somebody broke MAP. I see no chance of it recovering. I see no reason to hang on to it. I threw it out the window. And I threw it out the window probably to the tune of about $1,000 today. So that's a little overinflated number. But still, $4,000 day. I'm not going to complain. But you do see the ASP has taken a huge hit because of that, because somebody broke MAP and now it's a very inexpensive product, and I've sold probably 100 or more units of it today. Excuse me. But still, I'm gonna say probably 800 of that. So maybe a $3,500 day is more realistic. But you see what's going on. Yesterday we finished at 6,500. And yeah, okay, we've sold 165 of those. Wow, that's way overinflated stuff then. So we're not, might have to pull the trigger on some new products for $1,700. Almost all of that is going to be that product that I am killing. Diane says, so do you break MAP also when you don't? Yeah, I mean, if I didn't break MAP, I was going to hold on to this. Now, I will never carry that product again. So, so you broke MAP as well, and by doing that, you burned your relationship with that vendor. Yes, because that vendor did not protect the product the way that he promised. He didn't hold up his end of it. I'm not doing business with him anymore anyway. So see you, dude. Yeah, I'm dumping my product. I'm getting my money back. You didn't do what you were supposed to. I'm not going to do what I'm supposed to. We will part ways. We won't be friends. Life goes on. Yeah. Now, normally I won't break MAP. And if somebody breaks MAP, I will report them, to the vendor, and not report them like, let's crush this guy. Let's get him suspended. But no, report him like, hey, you may want to shoot an email to this guy or girl because they are below MAP. And then they, hopefully come back up. I've done that plenty of times. And those are the vendors that I have relationships with that I can shoot an email to and say, hey, John, you might want to look at this guy. If you know who it is, send him an email. Okay, thanks. And they take care of it. In this case, $3 below MAP and thousands of units. Okay. So yeah, relationship's dead. So I'm getting my money out and life goes on. But so back to the numbers. So we're at 4,300. And like I said, it's overinflated. You see right here is a big one. Only 26 toys sold today. My stuff is set high and I haven't looked. I've been manually pricing. So I'm not set on a repricer on most of my toys. All right. So I'll just look through the listings tonight and I'll look through my listings tonight. I'll see what I want to fire off and I'll set to the buy box and I'll go sell some crap tonight. That's basically what I've been doing. That's how I've been operating my Q4 and I'm okay with that. We're still a good solid, almost 2 weeks away from drop dead date of the 23rd. So to me, I don't mind waiting. I don't need the payout. The money's not going to be reinvested for Christmas. It's going to be invested in Q1. So I will just slowly shoot these ducks as I see fit. And that's what I'll do after I get off the show tonight. I'll probably sit there on my iPad for a couple hours and I'll do some repricing. And I mean, I've got products where, like yesterday, I pulled the trigger on one that I had 6 units and they sold out in half an hour. I've had some where I pulled the trigger on 30 units and they sell out in a couple of hours, whatever. This time of year is so neat because you can just choose when you want to sell at what price. Now if you are priced higher and you want more money, you got to wait. But whenever you decide I want it to move, you get in the buy box. For the most part, it's going to blow through. Craig Burrow said, I knew I had a payout today, so I priced some items to sell with a good profit before the payout. Now, since my next payout is right before Christmas, I'm sending in the same items and able to wait on others. Yeah, there you go. A lot of that has to do with payout. I am more aggressive the week before my payout than I am at this, during this week. If I get paid on Monday, I am not very aggressive Monday through Friday, unless I just see a trend where I need to be. If I see prices falling, non-Q4 typically, if I see prices falling, then I know I need to go ahead and join before it completely bottoms out, or I'm going to be on the other side waiting for it to recover. But for the most part, I am not as aggressive. Home appliances, I have no idea what I'm selling, but we did about $1,000 in home appliances, 870 with those toys, and that'll probably go up tonight when I do some repricing. Clothing and grocery. Month to date is not as impressive as many that I have seen. I'm telling you, we're running about 4 to 6. So I'm going to say we're averaging 5,000 is my guess. So month to date is 43,000, which divided by 9, if we took it for the full day, is what, about 5 would be 45. So yeah, we're right at $5,000 average days. Little hair below, but you see that even with today's horrible performance, ASP is right at $30. Let's see, last month we did 79, so we're halfway to last month's total, which was aided mightily by that 11.5 on Cyber Monday, which fell in November this year. So it's not included in the December numbers. So as far as I'm concerned, my November numbers are overinflated by about 11,000, and my December numbers are down about 11,000 because that's just, I don't know. It's just the way I see it in my head. It doesn't really matter. It's all the same in the end. We did 69,000 last year, as I told you, in the month of December. So a third of the way through the month, we are about 2/3 of what we sold all of last December. So I'm happy. I am very happy with what I'm seeing. And now we'll go to the year to date. January 1st of this year, the road to 500K is at $475,000. That's pretty cool. We're not there yet, but we will be soon. Running $5,000 to $6,000 days. $5,000 days would put us there in 5 days, which would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That'd put us there Monday. I predict we will hit 500,000 on Sunday. May be wrong, but that's my guess. Very, very happy with that. Toys, almost 5,000 units in toys for $113,000. Grocery, 4,600. Grocery items sold, 84,000. So toys are a higher ASP than grocery because we sell almost the same, but doing much higher actual sales in toys. All right, any questions? I don't see a lot of questions coming in, so if you have any, please feel free to fire away. Last year, the same date range, we were at 175. Now we're at 475. That's solid. Thank you. Edie said, you got this, or you got it, Dwayne. And Marianne said, fantastic job. Way to go. Thank you, Marianne. So we're excited. Yeah, 19,000 in clothing. We didn't get approved until November last year, so that's cool. Shoes, 21,000. Just, we're all over the board. We sell a little bit of everything. We even sell some baby stuff every now and then. Michael Flanagan, 1 million next year, going to be a piece of cake. Man, I don't know. It's possible. We've talked about that enough on the show. I'm not going to cover it again. All I know is I'm freaking tired. And thinking about trying to do 1 million, which would be twice what I did this year, that just makes my head hurt and it makes my body hurt. But that's the truth. I am freaking exhausted. You have 4.5 hours, and this is nothing to somebody like Goose who is sleeping in a trailer, storage unit, whatever. But yeah, 400,000 or 4 hours of sleep the other night, 5 hours of sleep last night. Not going to. What Mike's holding up a sign over there. What you got? I want to be Dwayne when I grow up. Yeah, whatever, Mike. Mike's killing it in his own right. Man, hopefully I see 50 participants. I hope, did anyone notice if we went over, I am supposed to have the full 100 available participants. I don't know if anybody noticed that or not. I hope I'm not stuck. That would kind of stink. But I don't know how to get somebody to try. But if anybody tried to join, please let me know later if you're listening to the replay that you are not able to get in and go past the 50. Okay, it went to 51. Cool. First of all, thank you, of course, the 50 people that showed up. I just wanted to know that my account was working. That is just odd to see a perfectly round 50 person. Alan Underkoffler came on. He said he came on late. That's cool, man. I appreciate you being here. I'm glad. Thank you, everyone who joins live, because you got better stuff to do. I realize that this is crunch time. This is the moment. But all right, any questions about the numbers? Any questions about anything? We got 5 minutes left. Fire away. No more money to spend. I have time. Yeah, I've spent. I have money to spend, but I have spent all the money I am going to spend for this week. Your July was flat last year. What was the difference this year? This year in July. Let's see. July. Oh, coaching. Okay, let's go to the actual. Let me take you there. Custom. If we look at July, it was pathetic. I think we did like $7,500 in July last year. July 1st to July 31st of 2014. Oh, okay, we did 11,000. Must have been June, the month before that, where we did almost nothing. Sorry, I know this is bad airtime. Alan, you on, or did you pop back off?
I can be on. I'm just excited. I can't believe how crazy this is.
Yeah, so let me cover this real quick. Okay, so you see June was 6,000, July was 7,000. The reason being, I pretty much stopped selling. I stopped sourcing in order to coach people. That's when my coaching really took off, was last year, June and July. So as my coaching income went up and as my focus shifted to coaching, my sales and my income from Amazon went down. So the difference was this year I went to work. I got to know the young guns. I met them at a conference in April, kind of got inspired by what they were doing. I was like, let's talk, and I actually went sourcing with them in June, a couple of them with Todd and Matt on the scan van trip with Chris Green. The four of us got in a van for 2 days and they blew my mind. They showed me RA in a way that I'd never thought about it before. They introduced me to a lot of what I'm doing now. And so I went to work this year in June and July in a funny way. I went to work and went on vacation all at the same time. I just worked really hard when I was working and I didn't work at all when I was on vacation. So we did Disney and I did a conference and I worked my butt off in the weeks leading up to those things. And then when it came time to be on vacation, I didn't do squat. I kicked back at Disney. I enjoyed the crap out of it and it was awesome. So that's the difference. I worked this year. And Mike said he had to have a 500K, had to do 500K this year. Yes, Michael Flanagan is the reason I set this whole road to 500K. He said I had to, so I figured I had to. Prime Day was the 15th. That is a valid point. That was like our second best day ever. So that really helped in the whole July thing. Totally forgot about that, so thank you. Who's that? Michelle that pointed that out. Prime Day was huge. I want to actually look at Prime Day. July. I guess I can't do it that way. Got to move this one first. July 2015. 2015, July. Okay, so here we are, July 1st to July 31st. And here's Prime Day. That big spike right there. That was a $3,000 day. Outside of Q4, at that time, even now, 3,000 is a big day for us. Non-Q4, we were averaging about 60,000 a month, which was about $2,000 days. So to spike a $3,000 day, that was big. And you see the day before was 1,300. Day before that was 1,700. So yeah, that was a big spike of 2 to 3 times our daily sales. So the day before and the day after were both 1,300, but this was twice as much, 3,000 in the middle. So yep, that was a good point. Thank you for sharing that, pointing that out. Michael saying I would have done better if I didn't have this crazy Zoomcast. No, you guys inspire me. Yeah, this is accountability. You guys want to feel some pressure, throw a goal out there to 50 or 100 people, and then each week track it and explain why you're not hitting it or celebrate when you are. But dude, this is accountability at its finest right here. It's rough those days that I have a bad Wednesday and I got to get on here and I'm like, yeah, I've sold $300 today. Man, that'll make you sure work harder. You don't want to have too many of those shows, I promise. All right. Any other questions about the numbers? We are right at 9 o'clock. I'm going to stop the screen share. Alan, are you still with me? No.
Yes, I am still with you.
I do want to discuss, without discussing the product, but here's a Q4 strategy. There's a product you and I both know well. Hey, Alex. Thanks for working late. Holy cow. I got to go to school tomorrow. There's a certain product we are both on that looks as dead as it could possibly be. So are you going to hold on and hope that somehow
the one that I have 200 of and you have 100 of?
That would be the one. Yes, sir.
So the interesting thing about that product, so there's somebody that lowballed that product and has apparently an infinite amount of units, which blows. And so to give you an example, that person is at $20. They're selling that product. And so I looked at and there's 20 other sellers on that product as well. And so if you notice, I'm at like 23.
Okay. No, I
And what
haven't
that
actually
gives
looked.
me, what that 23 gives me, it gives me 93 cents of profit. And since I have 200 units, it's just sitting there. So what's really interesting about fourth quarter is I'm selling about 2 units a day. Even though I'm $4 more expensive, it's allowing me to move some of those units, even though, because I mean, right, I don't want to lose, I don't want to sell them at a loss really, but they're not doing anything. But at least I'm moving some of the units and getting my number down a little bit.
Mhm.
So it's an interesting thought process if you have anything like that. I didn't actually expect that to happen, but it is happening. And I think it has to do with the seller that has that product has such has such an awful name that when you, as a buyer, you're looking at the store name and it's so ridiculous. Like it's so many caps and so long that maybe people just are buying from me because of that. I don't know. It's an interesting thought though.
When I first saw the name, I went, that's fake.
Yeah,
Honestly.
right? It's got to be crap.
And I started doing some research and I looked through their store and I was like, I think that's a real name. You know, I think
Yeah.
that's true.
But they're not carrying the entire line, so I don't know if it's fake or not. And I don't know what their deal is, but
I don't know.
I actually thought maybe they had a lightning deal and that's why they had the units, but then they never ran out. So I don't know. But I am stoked to be able to sell a few, and it is something to think about going forward if you have that happening, that scenario.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's an excellent point. I'll tell you one that I have that is priced, the buy box is below $10 on it. And I sell units, not a lot, but I'll sell one a day or one every couple of days at $12.99. I can't explain it. There are several sellers. It is not just one seller. There are numerous sellers. And for some reason, I get the sale. And I got a sale today at $69.99 when there are, again, numerous sellers at $62.99. No clue why.
I do get random sales like that, and I think that has to do with just the buy box floating every once in a while, and you get it, and you have a seller that's not caring about price and just buying things that they need. I think that's what that has to do with, and you have that more in fourth quarter than any other time. But
yep. So,
yeah.
Harvey's down. He said he just hurt his back. Man, Harvey's had a rough week, man. That poor guy. He's getting kicked from all sides at the absolute worst time. But that's a very good point, and I appreciate the fact that you brought that up because I wouldn't have thought to do that. But yeah,
I am excited though. On a side note, I did spend 20 hours on Sunday working, which is so odd because I'm not. That's just really not who I am. But anyway, so I found a product that I had one of those products that just sold through. I had 20 units and it was gone. One day I woke up and it was gone. And I'm like, well, what is that? So I went back and I found 9 more, shipped them in, and they were gone instantly. And so I shared in one of the groups that I had this like 5-hour drive. Would you drive 5 hours to make $3,000 or something like that?
Was it Star Showers?
I don't know. But anyway, so I did this. I have no money left.
Those things disappear en route.
No, it's not that. It's not that. But I have no money left. And I've overextended on the business accounts a little bit. So I pulled another, $1,000 out of my personal account because I couldn't not spend the money, right? So, and I did the 4-hour drive. I filled up my car, same car you have, completely full, all the way to the ceiling and the entire front seat. I shipped the product in on Monday. And for me, luckily, I had a DC that I was able to manipulate that was 1 day away. The product went live today. 80 units of it went live today. And I've already sold 10. And this is a great product. I mean, so would you spend $1,000? Would you spend 4 hours to make 3,000? And that's what I'm doing. So I'm really excited about that.
Yes, I would. And I would also price higher. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
There is no way I would be selling that product at that velocity with the work you went through this early in the season unless you just see an impending collapse. The Star Showers that I just mentioned, you can't find it. There are stores that have it, but as far as, hey, Walmart's going to restock tomorrow, it's not happening. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not. So if it's that kind of product, dude, shoot that thing through the roof and wait. You can lower the price and you can shoot that duck at any point. All right.
It's true. It's true.
No reason to try to catch it on the
But there's a level of greed, right? So at this point, I've spent $10 on the unit and I'm making 30. Okay. So at what point do I say, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Right now, I have the buy box. There's some merchant fulfilled people in there. At what point do you say, and that's where I don't know. I mean,
I tell you,
to me, that's a great margin. What would you guys do?
I looked at a product that I was selling, and I kind of had that. First of all, I just said, let the market decide. But I did have a product that I looked at, and great rank, blowing through them. I sold several today, $10 that I blow through at 32 to 35. Excuse me, when I first started selling them, it was at 32. I raised to 35. Could I have gone to 40, 45? Maybe. But I'm looking at it going, dude, I sell this to somebody for $45. They are not going to be happy when they receive it. So rather than get a bunch of returns at 45, how about we push the envelope at 35 and see what happens? That's one of the things I do. I go, this bottle of water is in high demand, but is it really a $50 bottle of water? No, it is not. And just kind of me, I make that call. Now,
but I think I'm in the sweet spot now. I think I could raise the price another $10, and probably sell through. But I'm pretty happy with a $30 return on the $10. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. So I don't know. I go back and forth.
Bruce said, "Where did you go to get 300 of something? $10, 3,000." Yeah, man.
It was 110 units, and it was $10 a piece, and it was 2 locations to get them. So, and they're selling for around 50 now.
You don't want to tell us your source or your...
No, I don't. Because you know what's going to happen? Tomorrow, my distribution from last payout will hit. Like what I'll be doing? I'll be looking at the inventory of every single store in my state and the other state next to me, and I will be driving.
I think you should. Let's talk.
I think I will. I think I'll keep that to myself. So.
You probably should. Sounds like you found an awesome product. But
yeah, you don't find that many of them. So when you have one, you got to go for it.
No, I mean, this $10 product that was flying at 35, and when I say flying, I'm telling you 20, 30 units a day, easy. I mean, just the only reason I'm not selling more is I can't find more. They're out there. And this is the time of year to capitalize on that. It is out there. But they are hard to find. And you don't want to tell too many people because, there are a lot of people listening. and you don't need the copycats. Sorry. It's the way it is. All right.
Harvey does need more inventory.
You need more inventory.
I agree, Harvey. I know what his inventory was at the beginning of the month, and it was not enough. Not even close to enough.
Yeah, but my plan is to sell my entire inventory before.
So is mine. So I don't get it. But I have twice the amount of inventory you do. It doesn't make sense. And you have a trailer. I mean, I don't understand.
Oh, I love my trailer. I tell you
I
what.
wish I had a trailer on Sunday.
It took some. It took a little bit to actually get it up and running. I had problems with the van, and then I had to meet Harvey, which meeting Harvey was an honor and a pleasure. But still, flew up to Kentucky and drove it all the way back and jumped through some hoops to get that trailer thing going. But my God, it's been priceless. I filled it up a couple of times, like totally full, and several times where if I just had the whale, even with that's what I call my 2002 Honda Odyssey. Even if I had the whale with the middle seats out, that stuff was not going to fit. Just no way. You don't drop. I'll tell you right now, you don't drop $8,000 in a day and fit it in a van. Not happening. You don't drop $3,000 at Walmart and fit it in a van. It just not gonna happen. So,
well, you could fit $3,000 in your truck now. I've done it.
Well, yeah, maybe if I bought like.
And you can fit a pallet and a half in that truck. By the way, I did it on Sunday.
I know a pallet fits in there. So
yeah,
that's cool.
It's a squeeze, but you can do it.
See, I buy a lot of big, heavy stuff. I'll be honest with you. So. I might run out of room with the big, and I have loaded that van down to where I went, man, I don't want to hit a bump too hard and all of a sudden have the whole thing go ka-chunk. Because, I mean, you could literally, you knew it was depressed. And when I got out of the van, I was like, wow, the ground is really close. It just, so Allison said, 3,000 in Walmart will fit in my Camry. All right. Maybe I'm just buying different stuff. Actually,
so you're buying, your stuff is too cheap. You got to stop buying toothpaste, Wayne. That's what it is.
I like toothpaste though.
I do. I like toothpaste as well.
They brush their teeth all year round.
So. I know.
All right, man. It is now 10 after 11 and or 10 after 11. Oh my God. 11 after 9. Yeah, that's where my mind's at. As much as I enjoy talking to you, Alan, I am going to call it a night because
Yes, definitely.
dude.
Me too. I'm just sorry that I missed the beginning of the call. I apologize.
No, it's okay. You didn't miss much. I'm just going to go shoot some ducks now, see if we can boost those late night numbers, catch some California shoppers, whatever.
Nice.
If not, I'll get them tomorrow. All right, guys. Alan, have a good night. Thanks for joining me on camera.
Take care.
Pleasure. Everybody in the chat room, thank you so much for joining live. I don't know what next week's topic will be. I do plan on being here next week. So again, we will see what next week holds. Hopefully we will achieve the road to 500K and be well above that in a week from now. So thank you everyone for joining us live, and get some rest. Yeah, I'll get some rest soon. That'll start on Saturday. I honestly cannot. I go to sleep at usually about 12:30, and when you roll over and you're like, kind of settle back in. As soon as I have that hint of awake, I'm like, let me go check my sales. Let me look what's going on. Let me see what happened yesterday. What am I missing? Do I have buyer messages? My mind starts racing. I'm just shot. And that's all there is to it. So yeah, it won't stop until I get this shipment out. Oh, Lynette was here. Hey, Lynette. All right, guys. Again, thank you. Bob Willie, great point. Says December 14th is normally my best day of the year. So keep that in mind. Keep those prices high right now. I'm telling you, you can shoot the ducks whenever you choose to. But for right now, keep the levels high. Oh, one last thing. Something that I thought was just kind of funny that occurred to me today. Your Amazon seller app, when you're looking at the app and you pull it down, the little wheel spins. It's almost like the Wheel of Fortune, because you don't know what the number is going to be when it pops up. When that wheel stops, what number are you going to be on? So, Wheel of Fortune time. I'm going to go see what my sales, well, I guess I see what my sales are doing, but I'll go see what's sold. All right, guys, have a great night. We'll see you next week. See ya.